Hello and welcome to my top 10 upcoming PC game releases for January to March of 2016. Now, quarter one is starting the year off with a bang with some amazing and unexpected releases. Some we've been waiting years for, while others have only surfaced recently. But either way, here's a list to help you know what new PC games will be up for grabs over the next 3 months. First, we have Homeworld Deserts of Kharak coming out on January 20th. Been on the radar for a few years, but with a sudden announcement just about a month before release, this release caught many by surprise with a rename from Shipbreakers to Deserts of Kharak. A ground-based RTS prequel to the classic Homeworld games, not much has been seen so far, and people are unsure of how big this game is going to be. Just keep an eye on it and see if it'll live up to expectations. Next, we have The Witness, January 26th. A first-person 3D puzzle game inspired by Myst. Final release is meant to have over 650 puzzles, estimated to take up to 100 hours to solve, including some puzzles they believe less than 1% of players will be able to complete. If you like the look of the gameplay we've seen so far, then this should be right up your alley. Though there are concerns about it being repetitive and things getting boring, so try to be sure you know what you're getting into. Then we've got XCOM 2, February 5th. Originally intended to release late 2015, this got pushed back, but it should be worth the wait. 20 years have passed since the surrender to the aliens in this turn-based tactics game. Recruit and specialize soldiers, procedurally generated maps, and strategize your way through the battlefield. If you like the recent revival of XCOM, then this should be bigger and better. Next up, Firewatch, February 9th. At first glance, it looks like a survival game, but it's much more of a story-driven adventure out in the wilderness. In this first-person adventure, you explore, uncover clues, and solve mysteries while being guided by your supervisor over walkie-talkie. Voice acting and narrative that we've seen is amazingly done, so if the whole game is consistent and core gameplay remains engaging, this will be a great title. And then Unravel, February 9th as well. A unique-looking physics-based puzzle platformer. You play Yarny, who is made up of a single thread of yarn. Solve puzzles, traverse beautiful environments, and discover a heartfelt story about a long-lost family. Here's hoping its narrative and gameplay will be as awesome as its aesthetic. Next up, we've got Street Fighter V, February 16th. We all know what Street Fighter is, but the 5th edition has some interesting additions, notably some unique new characters such as Fang and Rashid. The game features the X gauge while introducing the V gauge. It's looking great so far and it shouldn't disappoint, unless you don't like fighting games or Street Fighter, of course. And then we have Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2, February 23rd. A sequel to the third-person shooting tower defense game set in the PvZ universe. 6 new plant and zombie classes, 24-player multiplayer, and the ability to play offline by yourself or in split screen. If you like the first game or are into the Plants vs. Zombies thing, then this should satisfy your tastes. Next we have Far Cry Primal, March 1st. An interesting step in the Far Cry series as it takes you back 12,000 years to the fictional land of Oros, where you'll learn to tame wild beasts and deal with tribal life. Not doing the same thing again is a great move for Far Cry, but will it still feel too similar? Or maybe it'll be too different? We'll find out soon. Then we've got Tom Clancy's The Division, March 8th. Ah, yes, this one's been all over the media for a while, but its hype might have peaked too soon. A third-person shooter with RPG elements, the game takes place in a mid-crisis New York where you have to restore order. This could be a unique multiplayer action game, or it could just end up being mediocre, and it seems to have already suffered a downgrade. I'd wait for release and see how things go before jumping on this one. Finally, we have Hitman, March 11th. The latest addition to the Hitman series promising everything you've come to expect and more. In this third-person action-adventure stealth game, scope out maps that are 6 to 7 times larger, more populated by NPCs, and experiment with different approaches to complete your contracts. It looks good, but we'll see if it can actually push the series forward with innovation, or maybe it'll just be more of the same, which isn't necessarily a bad thing either. And as a note, there are also a few more games rumored that might be released in quarter one, but without a release date, I would guess they would take a bit longer. I put these in the description down below. So those are some big releases to keep you busy for Q1. Which one are you most excited for? And if you'd like more from me on what games to keep on your radar, just click the genres at the top for my collection of over 120 notable titles to watch this year. Alright, that wraps up my top 10 upcoming PC game releases for January to March of 2016. Hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, drop me a like or share it with your friends. The support is always appreciated. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.